Welcome back, everyone, to BBB Sharing. I'm Evie, Director of Ignite, sparked by BBB. And with me today, I have our CEO and President, Barry Moore. And I have Daniel Matherly. That's how I said it, right?
You did it perfectly.
Good.
You did good, Abby.
I'm obsessed with getting names right.
You did
Daniel,
great.
you were here today for Valor RVA and for First Responders event, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about what was going on. I stepped in kind of last minute.
So I'm actually with Bolder Crest Foundation. We're a national nonprofit that focuses on mental health and wellness for veterans and first responders. Today we did a presentation for the leadership of the local area, police, sheriffs, fire, EMS departments, to kind of give them some resources to use for their people that are in need. Hopefully before they get in need, we really focus on the preventive side of trauma and struggle and things like that.
So you guys are pretty proactive with what type of resources do you provide for them?
So what we actually focus on is this idea of post-traumatic growth, or PTG. Most people have never heard of that. Everybody in the world has heard of PTSD.
Mm-hmm.
You know, nobody focuses on the good side of things. They just want to focus on the negative. And we've really, it's not something we came up with. This guy, Dr. Richard Tedeschi, did a lot of research on this. It's a real evidence and science-based science about post-traumatic growth, and just the idea that it is okay to have good things happen after really bad things happen in your life. And a lot of people forget about that when they're going through not just some big traumatic event, but it's everyday life. We face challenges every day, and people overlook that.
Like people who survive traumatic events or even sometimes imposter syndrome, that type of thing.
That stuff. I mean, the loss of a family member. A lot of this research is based off of parents that lost children. It's these things that we deal with: loss of parents, loss of your job. People don't think about retirement and what it can do to your self-worth and how you view the world. All these things that a lot of people just overlook that build up over your lifetime. It's all an opportunity to grow from.
Yeah,
not just
I agree.
suffer.
You guys really had some great content, and your presentation was across the board. It wasn't isolated in one area for these law enforcement and fire EMS. And so thank you. This is our area. So thanks for coming to our home and helping. Explain with Struggle Well that two folks were from Miami.
Yeah, so
explain that to me.
we had Noelle and Elise here. They're both with Miami Beach Police Department down there. So Bolder Crest started a little over 10 years ago up in Loudoun County in Northern Virginia. And we were solely pretty much focused on the veteran community then. We started a program that we call Warrior Path. It's a 7-day on-site, all-immersive program. You go through it with 6 to 8 people. Well, the shootings happened in Las Vegas. Our board of directors said, hey, we need to get this out to first responders too. They need support. So we started allowing 10% of our participants in Warrior Path to be first responders. We quickly realized that there was a much greater need than that. So we started looking at other avenues, and we developed this program, Struggle Well. And Noelle and Elise, down there in South Florida, that's where we first piloted the Struggle Well program in Miami-Dade County down there.
Interesting. Big department.
It's actually multiple departments, and I didn't realize that until I started going down there a few years ago. So it's I think it's 38 agencies that are in Miami-Dade County.
Wow.
Kidding. Well, it was interesting, and the content, like I said, it was phenomenal. And so we're part of the Better Business Bureau, right? But you're in Ignite Studios, right? And we're video recording this, and we hope people share this out because you're looking to get in front of police chiefs, HR, marketing, people of all police departments, sheriff's departments,
Police, fire,
federal,
EMS.
state police were here today. You had a great presence with the captain was here today that I know well, and it was great to see that. VCU police was here, the chief, and also one of the folks at the U of R police department
I
too.
didn't see that,
So so we have a couple different colleges, police departments. So you represent everybody and you help. Are there other groups? You have veterans you would get in front of? Who else can we help share this with?
So really what we focus on is the veteran community, and of course police, fire, EMS, dispatch, corrections officers. that's kind of what we are covering right now. We know the demand. I mean, this program is set up. I could take it out to the everyday person, the average person, and it would help them. But we just can't cover that demand right now.
Right. So I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to give you time, and Evie might have another question. But I want you to think about this a minute, because we have an event coming up in 2 days. So you guys are you're a solution to a problem. Some kind of problem exists, and you're a Band-Aid or you're a solution, whatever. But I'm going to ask you, what causes the root cause? What's the root cause of mental health crisis and or PTSD or whatever? And I'll give you a minute to think, because I'm throwing that question. I'm not trying to trick you, but I want you to think at a different level. You guys are fixing things, but what's the cause of it? But I'll let Evie ask another question in the meantime.
So I really don't have a question that I want to follow up with that one specifically. That
Right.
is the question that is overall going to be answered, hopefully, by people that attend. But another question that I have for you is there a program that you can think of that focuses on the positive side that can help the everyday person?
The everyday person, I don't know that there's anything out there right now. We do. There's a book called Struggle Well that our founders, Ken Falk and Josh Goldberg, wrote. That's available for anybody. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it on Audible, anything like that. And that's really the basis of a lot of our programs. They put into that book for that reason. And post-traumatic growth is being talked about more. There's a lot of research out there online about it now that you can look up and see. It's starting to be much more of a thing. 2 years ago when we started running these classes in Virginia, my first question is, who's heard of post-traumatic stress disorder? Everybody raises their hand. 2 years ago, I'd ask who's heard of post-traumatic growth, and it would be nobody. And now I can ask that question in class, and out of a class of 20 to 25, I might have 3 or 4 people raise their hand.
Wow.
And so that's a change there
Yeah,
already.
It's positive.
And you ask people where they've heard about it. Well, they've heard about it on podcast, or some of them I've even had say, "Hey, my therapist told me about it." And
Really?
that's a huge shift
It's great.
from, I'm prior military. I ended up in the VA mental health system due to a lot of reasons. I wonder how my life would be different now if I got out of the Army in 2003. If this stuff would have been generally talked about then, like it is right now, like we're doing right now, where could I really be in my life instead of, I feel like there's a block of my life that I lost because I didn't know what to do, and nobody else really knew what to do either.
Yeah. I love that you all focus on a positive aspect of PTSD, because we feed that negativity all the time. And the fact that you all have completely done a 180 on that and you're focusing on the positivity just proves that there's so much growth happening in society today. Slowly, but we're getting there. So I really, I wish I would have stayed longer to listen to you guys talk.
And as Evie is our director of the Ignite program, that's the excitement. I'm older than you, I'm older than her by a lot. And so thank you for your service. Thanks for everything you did.
Yes, thank
I
you
said
for your
that.
service.
And you are at a loss of those years. And, I've been on the board of the Virginia War Memorial here. It's an incredible place to go and learn and get educated. Jason Redmond down at the beach, Navy SEAL, he wrote to Trident. James Howard's right here, Virginia and Athletes United, Veterans and Athletes United. He's got that big wall. I don't know if you've seen the American flag. It's all dog tags of people we've lost. He's been to the Lincoln Memorial, the Pentagon. He travels around the East Coast. They tow it. And so they rely on funding. My point to you is, where does your funding come from? If somebody's listening, can they write you guys a check? Is it all grants? Is it all corporate donors?
So our funding is a mix of private donors, just straight donations. We do several fundraisers a year. We do have grants from AT&T with their FirstNet program. If somebody would like to donate, they can go to our website, boldercrest.org, and there's a donate tab right there. You can set it up as a one-time donation. We're starting a program to do a sustainer type donation where you can donate, say, $5 a month continuously.
I think that's what Tuttle by Towers have done very well. They really did get it down with the $11 and the advertising they're doing. They've really come a long way. So answer. I'm waiting for your answer in a second. If you're going to have one, that's fine. If not, you can say, Barry, pass. But the reason we're asking is I want to put it in context for anybody listening and for you in the future that you can share this sharing program or Ignite and Evie, because what I'm fed up with in the local area, and I lived up in Pittsburgh, New Jersey, Nashville, only in Central Virginia do I see this, and it's predominant that there's one nonprofit after another, about 5 probably a day, are opening for some cause. We don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. They lost a brother, sister, aunt, uncle, dog, cat, bird. Everybody has a cause.
Yeah.
And we are seriously dealing with mental health crisis right now. It's time to maybe put those people to the side and let the people, not just with Band-Aids, and I don't mean the demeanor, because it's huge what you're doing. I don't mean it that way. But you guys also have, and I hope you come back with stuff for the crowds. What is the root cause that you need this Band-Aid? Struggle well. What did you deal with in the military? And so I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it's, I'll let you answer from there.
I don't know that there is a singular root cause
Uh-huh.
for this because it's so personal in the ways you deal with things. I'm also firefighter EMT, so an example, we can run a car wreck. All 3 of us can go to this car wreck, and it's the same incident. And I can walk away and say, I'm good. I'm truly okay with the outcome of this. Whereas either one of you could be completely different with it. It could have been a small child that died in the car wreck. Well, I don't have children personally, so it wouldn't affect me in the same way that somebody that does have children. So it's hard to say that there's this one definitive root cause. What caused me trouble in the military, as I look back at it, was probably the loss of getting out. Not necessarily I deployed to Afghanistan and Iraq both. I was an infantryman. I was there. I did the stuff. I wouldn't say a lot of what happened in country there bothered me, but it was when I came home and got out of the military and had no idea. I had no identity anymore, no idea what I was going to do with my life. I thought I was always going to be working jobs where it was physical labor. I worked with my hands, maybe skilled labor. I couldn't see anything past that because of what I had been through and kind of how things just fell apart for me because I didn't have that purpose anymore. And I think that's a lot of what society today is truly missing is a real purpose, not like you said, my dog passed away, so I'm going to start a nonprofit to help dogs, but a true purpose, a true meaning in life. And that's one of these huge existential questions, right? Like, what is the purpose of my life? Well, the purpose of your life is to find knowledge and wisdom and improve other people's lives. And that's what is the real great thing about post-traumatic growth is when you work the steps of it and you realize what it is and you do it, you get to turn around and help other people with it. And that's what I would say Struggle Well and Warrior Path and Bolder Crest in general isn't a Band-Aid. We're teaching people how to truly live their life in a life of meaning and purpose and service to others. And that's what makes your life better. That's what gives you meaning.
After today, I had no idea what you guys did, but now after today and listening to you right now, I get it. And you are different. I mean, you are, and I think we got to remember in 2 days when we have our event, you helped us big time with one of the roots is purpose and having a purpose.
I was going to say,
love that.
I have to
Thank
agree
you
with
so
Daniel.
much.
Yeah, I do have to agree with Daniel on the having the purpose because I've mentioned the story before. Mine's nothing compared to yours, but I did have trauma in where I went to school growing up. And I've told Barry before, I lost myself in a good gap of my life where I couldn't recognize who I was anymore until I started speaking to somebody. I saw a therapist per my mother's request, which was in our culture, because my Greek background, we don't really talk about mental issues like that. But I was lucky in that I had a mom that studied psychology at VCQ. And she said, you need to talk to somebody. And I finally started feeling like Evie again, whereas I had lost myself for such a long time. And so I found my purpose. I realized that my purpose wasn't to get married or have an amazing corporate job. It was to help people. I wanted to help people. And then I met Barry, and I think that was God's work in meeting him and being a part of this program. So I have to agree with you that purpose is one of the biggest solutions.
It's a root.
Yeah.
We have a tree that she's going to present on Thursday, and you'll get a copy because we got your email. And it's a tree, amazing what Canva does.
Yeah, Canva.
I don't even know how to spell it, but she's got this tree and a slide, and all these nonprofits and the why to the why struggle well. But then the root cause is what we're going to study on Thursday by bringing the public in and listening to them. And I'm going to be amazed. I think we're going to really have something that we're going to share with everybody like you guys and take it from there. Just take the idea that we're bringing to Ignite. And this all stems out of the Chesterfield County Sheriff's Department. Carl Leonard has had it with being his jail, and he's pleading with the governor. But the jails cannot be our mental health crisis centers, and they continue to be. And 3 weeks ago, I was going to study this back after summer vacations, September. I was going to bring this to the market and talk about it. You know, we're a nonprofit, and we just want to share. And Carl, the sheriff, posted a picture of a deputy, and right on video, so right here, it was a woman's arm deputy, and they were here today at your event, Chesterfield County, and it was a bite mark. And you can see actually the jaw. This woman bit the deputy because they waited over 20 hours to get mental health. All the lady wanted was her meds, and they threw her in the jail system. She wanted medication. The jail can't give her anything. And then they took her to the hospital, and she waited on a gurney or whatever in a chair for over 20 hours. And she wasn't a criminal, but they arrested her for disorderly conduct because she couldn't get her medicine that she was seeking. Yeah. It's crazy, right? But we got to fix this stuff.
Yep.
And so anyway, we're at 16 minutes. So sorry for 5 minutes of your time.
You're fine.
You are so easy to talk to, isn't
Yep.
he? And he does not live near Harrisonburg. I was going to tell him about the Galley.
That's okay.
The Galley Diner in Harrisonburg, right by JMU. Family Place.
If
Great.
you're ever in Harrisonburg and you're driving
Great.
down South Main Street, you can stop by the Galley Diner.
Okay.
So you
And
met Evie.
you'll see my dad in there. You can't miss him.
Yeah, he is the best. So anyway, thank you. Anything else you wanted to add?
No, sir.
Daniel, thank you so much for coming in here and taking the time to talk to us. Barry, thank you again.
Thank you, Evie. I'm loving it.
Everyone listening, please make sure if you're on Spotify, follow us, and of course, leave a comment. We love your feedback. On YouTube and you're watching the podcast, make sure to like and subscribe, and of course, leave a comment as well. And follow us on social media, Ignite Sparked by BBB, serving Central Virginia on Instagram and Facebook. Thank you.
Thank you.